Coder. In this video, we're going to learn about the constraints, unique and check. What do they do and what are they for? First of all, what the constraints are. Well, they are a set of rules or limitations applied to the table or its fields so that it will match a certain condition or a certain pattern. Pretty much like in the real life, you can't enter a roller coaster unless you're tall enough. But now let's have a look how can we use constraints in Postgres. So as you remember, some of the emails in our table are blank. So if we put select email count all from our table employee and group them by email, we shall see a blank field repeated 248 times and the rest of the emails are unique. This is how the Mockaroo was programmed to produce unique values for email and leave 25% or so blank. And to prove that, I will use the select statement with the keyword having. So we can type select email count all from employee group by email, but we're going to add the condition having count more than 1. And as you can see, we don't have any emails repeating, just the blank fields. I just want to quickly remind you how the constraints work. As you remember, we have a constraint called the primary key, and the field we apply this constraint is ID. So if we can insert a new person with the same ID into our table, we're gonna see an error. In this case, it says ID 1, or the record with ID 1 already exists. But if we're gonna change the statement, we'll remove the ID from this insert clause and from the values, and we can insert that same record again. We shouldn't get any errors, and that's true. Now we have two records absolutely identical apart from this ID constraint. So if we're going to select by email, we'll count all from our table employee. We'll group them by the email, and we can apply the having count again greater than 1. We should see another record, which is r.hatley@mozilla.org, and this is the record that was just added, but the difference is it was appended at the end of our employee table. So if we're going to select everyone from person where email equals, and I'll just going to copy that email, you're going to see that, well, you're not going to see because we don't have a person table, we have employee table, but you shall see that the first record is having the ID 1, and the identical record has an ID 1001, and it is appended to the end of our table. Now, what if we want to make sure that all emails or all employees do have a unique email? We can type alter table, that means change something in our table, the table name employee, and we're going to add constraint, which is going to be unique email address. And after that, we're going to use the keyword unique, and inside the brackets we're gonna supply the column or field we want to apply it to, but we can't because we already have an email duplicate. So first of all, we need to remove that duplicate and repeat the procedure. So we're going to type select all from employee where email equals to that email, and we're going to delete the record with ID of 1001. So we're going to type delete from our table, and the condition is where the ID equals 1001. Now we're all in sync and we can repeat the alteration. It's all good. So let's have a look at our table structure. \d employee, and we can see down there indices we have a unique constraint, which is email. Now what if we want Postgres to check for a certain condition before inserting that record into our table? So imagine we want to check whether the gender is either male or female. So let's have a test. So we're going to add someone called John, a family name Doe, who decided that from now on he is going to be a panda. So he's going to have an email reflecting that panda wonder, and the rest is going to be the same. So we're going to insert that statement, that record into our table, and as you can see it allows us to do that. So now if we're going to select a distinct records from our table by gender, we're going to actually see 3 genders there. I know it's a big trend in 2020, however, imagine that we want just male and female and definitely no pandas. So what shall we do? Well, we can add another constraint. So we can say alter table employee add constraint and gender constraint. Then the keyword check, and in the brackets we're going to type the condition. So we want gender to be equal to female or male. So gender equal male. And that should bring us another error. That is right, because as we remember, we have a panda in our table. So first of all, we need to remove that panda. So we can perform deletion by the condition of gender being equal to panda. All done, and we can add this constraint. All good. So now if we'll try to insert that gentleman who thinks he's a panda, we should get an error. And yes, we did get an error indeed. Alright, so please give this video an emperor's thumbs up, toll the bell and subscribe. I'm going to see you on the next lesson, which is going to be dedicated to the conflicts in PostgreSQL. That was V. Thank you and goodbye.